Middle School. There's a lot of family messages. There's family messages going all the way back to September. So if you want to learn things about Stanley Middle School, our website is a good place to do that. We're going to send this email out, this link to this recording out with a few other links that either Miss Christmas or Miss Fox will talk about. And if you would just much rather talk to someone, you can call the school. You can call me. You can email us. You could use any form of communication that you want. You can even come to the school if you really want to take a tour early, although we'll have to go through the protocols and all that stuff, and we'll talk about that as we get there. I'm Mr. Clint. I'm the principal of Stanley Middle School. Miss Christmas will be up in a little bit, as well as Miss Fox. Miss Christmas is our assistant principal, and Miss Fox is our school counselor. The three of us will talk for a little bit, and then at the end we'll have a question and answer period. So anything you want to ask, there are no questions that we don't like to answer, whether it's about lunches or anything like that. There are some things that might change between now and September. Being flexible has been all of our middle names since March 10th of last year. So we're still being flexible. We've gotten a good, what we call a good rut. Usually being in a rut is bad, but we're in a good schedule right now here at Stanley Middle School for the majority of our students and adults. And so, but we expect it's going to be even different when we get to September of next year. And so we'll talk about that a little bit as we go. Again, we're going to record. So if you want to have your camera off or things like that, we are going to record. Again, today will be a short presentation, and then we'll send all this out via email. Making sure that your information is correct in Skyward, parents. And if you're here by yourself and your parents aren't with you, just give them a good reminder to make sure that their email addresses, all that stuff is up to date. Typically, fifth graders' information is up to date because you have one teacher all day, and they do a really good job with those information sheets. As you get older, things change, and when you have more than one teacher, it gets difficult. And again, the last thing is don't hesitate to communicate with us. If you need anything at all, we totally understand the change from elementary to middle school can cause a lot of stress and anxiety, and along with what we've gone through for the past year or year and a few months. And so do not hesitate to come. We love to give tours. We love to do lots of stuff. And we hope that we're going to have some type of big, not too big, of an event in August, some type of open house. Last year we were not able to do that. We had to do a video. But many of you have probably been here for athletics and things like that, and we'll talk about that in a sec. So without further ado, I'm going to take you on a little tour in case you haven't been here. And so here's the front of our school. I almost put up all my pictures from the front of school. I was here in February moving desks and getting everybody ready for February 22nd for kids to come back, and we had a major snowstorm. So I have a picture of 10 inches of snow. It's one of my favorite pictures of this exact same view, but with lots of snow. I've got lots of sunrise pictures. If you go to our family messages that I put out, I like to put pictures of Stanley Middle School there. We are the oldest building in the Stanley Middle School District, but when you come inside, you wouldn't know it because it looks like brand new. And from the outside, we have a different color motif that was put up a long time ago. But we love the front of our school, and that big piece of art right there from Mrs. Buthine's group, the SMS, was put up quite a while ago. Next, Miss Christmas is running our slideshow. And there you go. So there's the front of our school where the buses will drop off. Lots of you will stay there when you're waiting for your buses. Pickup is on the other side of the building. But if you look really closely at Miss Buthine's piece of art there, you'll see that those are kids. Those are little kids. The SMS is made out of by former SMS students over at the welding shop on the other side of our parking lot. They put that together, and it's a very cool project that we're very proud of. It fits right in our school. Most of you see that. That's where the 8th graders take their pictures before they leave. And typically when we were able to have dances and stuff, they would take that there too. As you enter our building, you get to see our favorite quote. You've seen it a few times already, and it is very, very true. Through these doors walks the future. And so you'll probably next year, just like we do right now, enter through the front doors. Because of our COVID protocols and things like that, every single student comes through the front door in our building. And so Miss Christmas and I and Miss Fox get to see everybody every single day that's now attending with us. Okay. The next piece is our office. Miss Roop is out right now. Wendy Roop is our office manager. She's not here for the next week and a half or so. But we hired T. Hannah Walt, who many of you might know from Elger Bay. She was very heavily involved in Elger Bay. Ms. Hannah Walt is our secretary that handles athletics, and she's at the front there, so she's the first person you see. And then Mrs. Midthun, Rhonda Midthun, is also pretty new to us. She's also there. She handles all of our attendance. She's very nice about making sure you say sick or family business and things like that, because lots of us forget to call when our student is out ill or maybe has an appointment or is out on family business. But they will answer the phone when you call. Between 7 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. right now, most of the time 3 p.m. depends on our hours. When we get back to normal, they really are the ones that are our front line. They do a great job. They want to make sure your information is correct. So calling our 360-629-1350 number, you will get one of them, and they will direct you to the right person, or they'll put you through to us. And they also really respond to emails, just like Ms. Fox, Ms. Christmas, and I do. So making sure that you communicate. We want to make sure everybody gets an answer to their questions. So do not hesitate to call. Again, I don't know if middle school is more stressful for parents or for kids sometimes. And so parents, do not be afraid to call for us, for yourself, please. Next, this is our foyer. Typically, before March 10th of last year, this is where we gather. We gather before school, after school, during lunches, things like that. So I want to make sure I showed you a picture of it, depending on how things are next year. We have lots of room there to space people out 6 feet. We don't gather here as much as we used to, but it is one of our spots that we hang out before school, so the teachers can make sure they're in their classrooms before 7:10. The cafeteria is close by, the library is close by, and we have a little TV that we show lots of our pictures from our activities on. Our CTE director got us that a few years ago. And so this is a spot where if you've been here for anything, for older siblings or for athletics and things, you've probably been in our foyer before. Next is the library. And we're going to take you inside the library here and show you Miss Palmer. Miss Palmer has been with us for a very long time. She does a fantastic job. Typically in the library, you're able to do a few things. No cell phones, no laptops, anything like that, because she wants you to be able to have a quiet place to read. But in the back of the library, we do have a computer lab. And so it's a very popular place with sixth graders to be able to go during lunch if they want to be safely on the internet. Our filters don't allow for just anything to happen back there, and she monitors that. And so lots of people spend lots of time in the library, even during class, but also especially during the lunch. And so our library is a very popular place, and Ms. Palmer does a fantastic job. We're very lucky to have her here full time. And so next is, now this is our cafeteria. And I know many of you are probably at school a lot. I don't know what your cafeterias look like. In February of this year, when I was separating all those tables, I was trying to figure out what we were going to do with our lunches. And luckily, we saved what we had almost gotten rid of, and that was these desks. One person does. Many of your parents may have sat in these at Stanwood High School back in the day, because I'm seeing some names here, people I recognize. And I'm not old enough to have been your teacher, but they were desks that we saved, and so we luckily are able to spread these out over 6 feet, and this is how our students eat lunch. They're able to socialize. They can take their masks off because they're eating. They can have their computers and cell phones out during lunch, as long as they're being appropriate, and we're able to serve lunch. I don't know if this is what it'll look like next year, but I wanted to show you what our cafeteria is like. You might have been here. Lacrosse, and football, and all kinds of sports, soccer. They have banquets in our cafeteria, and we're a very popular school for meetings for the community because we're centrally located between the island and town and Warm Beach in the Cedar Home area, and then those of you that live on the other side of I-5. So that is our cafeteria. The one place where I ask, whenever I ask students, have you been here before? Typically parents and students always say, I have done this in the gym, or I've done that out on the field. Before I became principal here, I spent 18 years at the high school as a teacher and assistant principal, and I can tell you that I'm not sure I was ever in Stanwood Middle School, but I had been in this gym and out on that field with my boys playing soccer and lacrosse and football and basketball and all kinds of sports. I'd been in the gym and on the field hundreds of times, and so this is a place where many of you have probably been. We hope to be able to have our open house here with the bleachers out, and have a presentation, have our teachers here. But I'm sure there's still going to be some restrictions when we get to August, and so we will keep you updated and what that looks like in the health department. This is outside. We go outside now. We try to keep everyone 6 feet apart. Our students are being pretty good at it. It's very difficult for middle school students to keep that distance and stuff, but they need that fresh air, and so we try to keep small groups outside. We have 2 lunches at this time, and we hope to have the same. Right now, we're not sharing foursquare balls and footballs and things like that. We're not allowed to do those things without cleaning them, so they're able to walk the track. You guys know Heritage Park is over there, which is out of bounds technically for us, but they're able to use the grass when it's not raining, walk the track, and then just be able to socialize outside for a little bit before they go to class. So we know we'll be able to do that next year if we're here, and so you guys should be able to look forward to that too. That is it for our tour, and now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Christmas.
Thanks, Mr. Clint. Hi, everybody. My name's Holly Christmas Harris, and I'm the assistant principal here at Stanwood Middle School. And I've got the fun part of the job to talk about. It's the activities that we do here. And so we have a lot of clubs that we run after school. Right now, they're all on Google Meets. We have a cooking club that Mrs. Berg figured out how to do online. We have a drama club. Mrs. Brown and Mr. Wall do a Skills USA. We have a very busy homework club. Mrs. Rockwood hosts a karaoke club. In the past, we've had a gaming club and an art club. So there's a lot of clubs that 6th graders can be a part of after school. Generally speaking, they start at about, right after school, and then go to 3:30 or 4, and parents come and pick students up after the club is over. We also have one sport that 6th graders can participate in, and hoping that we can do it next year, and that's wrestling, which is a fun activity for 6th graders to be a part of. Girls and boys can participate in wrestling. And then our leadership class and our ASB team comes up with a lot of fun activities for 6th graders to do during lunchtime. Just some lunchtime competitions to get to know each other and have a good time and be goofy and silly and fun. And believe it or not, that is all I have to talk about today, although I am sure that I will think of something and say something at the end, or probably worse, interrupt Miss Fox as she is explaining everything else, because that's what I do.